you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe.
Ready? Play.
Well, hello there. Yes, please do like this video if you are enjoying it. I mean, I appreciate it's very early days and we've barely got started, but hopefully you will enjoy our company, as I know I'm going to very much enjoy being in the company of Mario, one of the nicest guys in tennis. Mario, how are you doing?
Thank you. I am doing actually fine. Happy to watch and comment the match for sure. Hopefully it's going to be a good one. How about you?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting match, isn't it? Because I wasn't sure we were going to get this clash, to be honest. I mean, obviously we're in the quarter where Rebecca should have been before she withdrew. But I think, you know, as you put up on your tweet the other day, we've actually got a very very strong quarterfinal lineup for the WTA.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only, you know, for the name of the players, but also because they are all doing well, I would say, this year. Collins, of course, an exceptional season in what should be her last one. But also Azarenka, he's having very solid numbers this year. In a lot of tournaments, she won at least a couple of matches. Semi-finalist, she was semi-finalist in Miami, and actually we were very close to have this final in Miami, actually. Because Rybakina won against Azarenka, very, very close one. So, yeah, I mean, I would say that Collins for sure is playing like a top 5 player this year, without any doubt. So she starts, I think, this match as the favorite. But Azarenka is always a player that, you know, she usually has her own in all the matches she plays, with all her experience and all the qualities, of course, she has. So I would say that it should be a very, very good one, quarterfinal, among all the others. The WTA tournament has been very, very strong in terms of the, you know, the name of the players involved in this lineup.
Yeah, for sure. And that's saying something about how strong the semi-finals we have already, because obviously this is the final, this is the last of the WTA semi-finals. We obviously Damien brought you the earlier one between Sabalenka and Ostapenko. Sabalenka ended up winning easily, which surprised me a little bit because I thought her back might be hampering her after that amazing match against Elina Svitolina the other night. But Sabalenka got through that one pretty well. And very, very excited to see which of these players can challenge her. They are about to get underway by the looks of it, with Azarenka serving first. So I guess, oh no, they're practicing serves. So I think it's been very good. The quality. I think we're going to get an Iga Coco semi-final in the top half. We've got 3 of the top 4 locking it out, and it's these 2 are kind of joining. And I'm trying to work out, I think in that sense, Danielle Collins, given that the form that she's been, is kind of like the 5th best player of the last couple of months, or like part of the top 5.
I mean, she's ahead of Gauff in the race. So Gauff is number 5 and Collins is number 4 in the WTA race. So there's only Rybakina, you know, missing among the best 5 player in the race. Yeah, I mean, just to say that Collins has won 18 out of her last 19 matches, only losing that, you know, infamous one against Sabalenka in Madrid, which was actually a match that Collins could have won. I mean, it was an even match. She played really well, and, you know, only lost against Sabalenka, who in the end started playing some amazing tennis, actually. So I would say that she's been basically unstoppable, and we'll see if, you know, it will be Azarenka maybe to stop her, or if her run will continue, in case she will face once again Sabalenka in the semis. So yeah, for me, it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, that Sabalenka match in Madrid, I mean, I agree with you. Like, I think Collins was in control of that match right up until she missed the opportunity to break Sabalenka for a set the break lead. And then Sabalenka just turn the script on its head, as she did. She's done in a couple of matches, and actually, you know, that's the question. What is about Sabalenka in amazing matches this year?
Well, I mean,
Like-
Sabalenka is also, you know, has also this personality of the fighters. Also, of course, the match should be close also in the score, maybe to get the highlight. But Sabalenka has this kind of vibe of, you know, being involved in all these big matches. And yeah, I mean, someone who is very entertaining. She's also, you know, drawing all this energy from the crowd always. So, you know, and also her mentality grew up a lot. So it's not anymore the player that you can count out in some cases. You know, she's always there. You can always feel that she's present, and you know, she's there to try to use all the chances that she may get in order to, you know, to play well and try to win the match. So in my opinion, it also shows how she grew up in terms of mentality, winning also, you know, in beautiful in style, also winning a bit ugly at times.
Yes, you get a very big contrast with Sabalenka, especially recently. Although since Madrid, yeah, she seems to have regained the form.
Yeah, let's say that the match against Collins was probably kind of a sliding door. Having won that match, you know, since then onwards, even if with some difficulty in other matches, but she looked like a different player.
I mean, we've got quite a lot of Azarenka support in the chat. Ghosty obviously here to support Collins, but we've got Jake and Terry supporting Azarenka. In terms of like purely from a neutral's perspective, out of the two winners, does Collins stand the best chance of challenging Sabalenka?
Probably yes, because of what we saw in Madrid, and probably the conditions in Rome can even help Collins more theoretically in, you know, in the matchup against Sabalenka, but it's difficult, of course. Yeah, I tend to agree, of course, with this. For what we saw recently, Azarenka, as I mentioned before, is playing very well and, you know, having really solid results this year. 20 wins, 8 losses. But yeah, it feels like Collins should be the one who's maybe more able to challenge Sabalenka, probably.
Yeah, I mean, out of all, that's the most likely scenario. By the way, it's at deuce. Collins had 40-15 on her service game, but a forehand into the net, and then a good point from Azarenka's taken it back to deuce. So maybe need to keep an eye on what's actually happening. I'm suspecting Mari's probably ahead because this match is taking place in the country. I've just seen Collins put a forehand into the net to give Azarenka the advantage.
Sorry, I was looking at a point. Didn't
Okay.
listen to.
I'm
happy.
Trying to work out how far ahead or behind I am.
No. We are quite there. I feel like.
I've just seen Collins get a let on. No, so she's having to have a second serve at advantage. Having to reset a little bit. Okay, we're about the same. Interestingly, was not expecting that. Maybe Sky are aligned across the countries. Azarenka serves great backhand from Vika, who then slices on the defense from Collins. Collins going to come in behind, try and do the drop shot, which she does. Great drop shot of the net to save the break point and take us back to deuce.
Yeah, we already have a close game with a few interesting things already happening.
Indeed. So Collins is through. Interesting point from Schwarner saying apparently Azarenka has bad service games in some matches. I think most players do. Can't think of a player really does.
Yeah, I got what the reason of this comment. Yeah, at times, I mean, it can be a bit a liability for her, actually. I remember her serving very well against Ostapenko in the matches she plays against Yelena, but it can be a liability, especially the second serve, even if I feel that it can be actually for both players, maybe, especially because both are very good in returning, in being aggressive, and and yeah, indeed.
Well, yeah, we've got, by the way, another break point. They've won by a mega return from Viktoria Azarenka. We're talking about the flaws in her serve, but her return, there's no problem there. She gets the early break, unexpectedly gets Danielle, who looked in control.
Yeah. What I was saying, I mean, second serve, I feel like both will be very, very aggressive when the opponents will serve a second serve. Won't be surprised exactly if we will watch, a couple of breaks here and there in this match. So
let's talk about Viktoria Azarenka as she's coming out to serve, having just got that break. I guess my kind of thoughts about her in this quarterfinal are kind of twofold. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on both these points. One, this has to be the most consistent season she's had in about 10 years, right? And secondly, Azarenka on clay, is she underrated? Because I feel like I'm guilty of not giving her much of a chance on this surface.
I mean, probably yes, she's a bit underrated, but because you look at her trophy cabinet and it's, more or less all, about the hard court, especially if you consider the big events all came, the big titles all came on the hard courts. But at the same point, if she looked, for example, at, her going deep, for example, this is her 7th career quarterfinal in Rome. So she's still, a player who's still able to be consistent enough. So maybe we bring the memory of her losing maybe quite a few semifinals and finals against the top players on clay. And maybe we make this thought also at the beginning of tournaments, where maybe picking the bracket and thinking about some upset. So maybe she is a little bit underrated on the clay, but still, I would be wrong if, if I say right now that her game is the best on clay. Because their favorite courts we know that are the hard court, especially in Australia, and the American hard courts is where she can produce her biggest results. And also lately, even when she had some peaks lately, the semifinal in Miami, the final in 2020 US Open, Indian Wells in 2021, it's usually happen there. But yeah, for sure, she's a player that knows how to do also on the clay.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, she's doing pretty well so far. She moves to 40 love on her serve with some pretty good serving, actually. Jake's asking me a question about where I'd rank Vika's return of serve in terms of all time. I mean, I haven't watched every single return of serve from all the great players. I mean, Vika is up there, but I'd quite like to sort of, I couldn't give you a read on it because I'd want to go back and watch, Steffi's return, Monica Seles' return, Evert, Navratilova, Serena. Obviously, I've seen a few videos of her, kind of circulating, and of course, very few can beat the return of Iga Świątek.
Yeah, probably, maybe if we considered the opponent's first serve, probably Azarenka goes even a bit higher, because in terms of the aggression on the opponent's second serve, probably we have some, bigger examples. I feel, Azarenka is for sure a great player when it comes to, staying on the bench and having that instinct to go to the right direction and also redirect pace. So yeah, for sure, her return, especially, against big first serve, has been, very above the average, that's for sure. All times. I mean, it's very difficult for me to say, actually, because
yeah, I think the only way to determine that is to kind of sit down with a tennis coach or someone and watch a bunch of footage.
Exactly.
And I've obviously tennis has evolved a lot over the years as well. I mean, you probably the 80s is the furthest back you could probably compare it to, 70s, 80s in terms of the women's game. When they started moving to what we would consider more a more modern racket design away from wood, essentially. As Azarenka is causing Collins problems with that return of serve to move to love 15. And well, at the minute, match is not, I thought this match would be more of a battle, but at the minute, Azarenka is really causing Collins problems as Collins almost actually falls over there.
Yeah, for sure. It's still early. Let's see at least this game, how it's going to end. But yeah, for sure. Let's say that maybe an Azarenka easy win will be probably the most surprising result, probably, consider, you know. But yeah, let's see just what happens. Yeah, about the return, once again, I also think that it's also probably one of the reasons why she was having also closer matches and battles against Serena in that, you know, period of time, comparing to, for example, Sharapova. Yeah, for sure, it's been a big weapon of hers.
I think 2012 to 2014, maybe even up to 2016, before Azarenka had to take time off with her pregnancy, a Serena Azarenka match was must-watch tennis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time they clashed. I didn't watch enough of them. My overriding memories of them are the US Open finals they played, particularly the 2012 one, which was incredible. I loved that match at the time. So exciting. But yeah, those two, Azarenka really was the one who took it to Serena for a couple of years. And it's kind of a shame that injury
she's been the player who
other things have disrupted her career so much, because she could have racked up so much more than she has. And even then, she's still going to be remembered as one of the best ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, she's been the player who has defeated Serena most times in a final. Actually, all her wins, maybe, or 4 of her 5 wins or something. I don't remember if she has 4 or 5 wins. But actually, it was that kind of matchup which, you know, it was not very important how many wins each one was having, because the matchup was interesting to watch, and the clashes were a lot of time entertaining. I remember many Serena's close wins in that one. I remember making this comparison, but, you know, it was just to talk. Right after the Madrid final, we saw lately that Sabalenka-Swiatek can maybe be a matchup of, you know, this kind, which maybe, you know, Swiatek has 7 wins to Sabalenka's 3, but a lot of their matches, you know, have been interesting, and even, you know, the Madrid final counts as a win for Iga, but it was more or less of a draw, you know. So yeah, it's the difference, you know, between great player and maybe all-time great and legends, you know. And this is maybe also the matchup between Serena and Azarenka, but it was very, very interesting to watch, of course.
Swiatek and Sabalenka was the rivalry that immediately popped into my head, because they are must-watch tennis when they play. Even their straight sets matches are producing incredible standards, and are always good to watch, those two. Also Sabalenka Rybakina, increasingly recently Swiatek Rybakina as well, and that's special. But Swiatek Sabalenka has that sort of extra specialness to that rivalry, and so yeah, that's what I was thinking of as well when you were talking about Azarenka Serena. And actually, you know, we talk about best of all time. I would say Azarenka's 2012 season is one of the best seasons by a single player that anyone's had on the WTA. And I know it sounds weird, because she really won 1 slam, but she came very close to 2 and was so consistently in the mix for titles pretty much every tournament she was in, that it has to be up there.
Yeah, for sure. There will be a bit of maybe what ifs in terms of, I think, especially of the, I don't know if I think decision. I will never be sure of this, but I think decision to to get pregnant in 2016. You know, she was after a couple of years where she still was playing, you know, at a decent level, but not as good as 2012 or 13. In 2016, with the Sunshine Double, you know, she was back at the very, very top of the game. And from that moment onwards, you know, it's been a bit of ups and downs, but fortunately, she still had some weeks here and there where she won a lot of matches and, you know, progressed very well. We don't have to forget that she was 6-1, 3-1 up on above Osaka at the US Open 2020 final. So, you know, she could have really won another slam.
Yeah, it was a really, really good match, that one. And I think Azarenka is definitely unfortunate to not have a US Open title on her
Yeah,
CV.
it's a bit like Murray and the Australian Open, right?
Yes. Probably worse in some ways because, you know, Murray never got it to a deciding set in the Australian Open.
Yeah, that's right. Even if, you know, best of 5, it's even more, you know, difficult to reach the deciding set. You know, you have to win 2 sets. But yeah, you're right.
Which match would you say Murray? Oh gosh, 2 back-to-back double faults for Azarenka puts her at love 30. Very quickly, Murray, which Australian Open final do you think Murray came closest in? Would it be 2013 or 2015? Because those were the only 2 he actually won sets in.
No, I think 2015, despite it was maybe 6-love the final set, if I'm not wrong, but there were the 2 tie breaks in the first 2 sets. And, you know, this, in my opinion, makes it a 3rd double fault. Wow.
Oh, no. This is not good for Azarenka. 3 double faults in a game, and suddenly Collins is looking to break straight back. So we're going to have to take a look at this one, I think. Looks like Mario a couple of seconds ahead of me because he said, oh, wow, probably about 5 seconds before the second serve hit the net on my screen. But we'll have a look as we have a police helicopter. Presumably, it's a crime that Azarenka is not finding a serve, but she finds that one. Backhand Azarenka cross court to the Collins, backhand up the line. Forehand Azarenka on the defense. Forehand Collins, great angle on the cross court. And there's nothing Azarenka could do about it. Collins breaks back after a poor service game for Viktoria Azarenka. Collins pounced, and this match is back on at 2-2 first set.
Yeah, and Azarenka was love 30 up in the 3rd game when Collins were serving down love 2. So, you know, we got a change of a quick change in terms of, you know, how the match is going. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. So Collins is going to be serving now, goes up to T, gets a great return off Azarenka, kind of improvised. Drop shot from Azarenka. Collins is trying to trace it down, but she can't. It was not up, and it's love 15. Great point from Azarenka there. And that started with the return, which just about landed in. Brilliant job. So you've got already Collins trying to make nice fit, but this is a pretty. What was I watching an Azarenka match where she did something similar, where it looked like kind of she let her opponent back in and then took advantage, and then just broke again to regain the advantage. I can't remember which match that was. Goes wide with that slice though. 15-all. Collins is relieved that she won that point.
Yeah, it can be a very important game for Collins for sure. You know, after you know, I don't want to say, but more or less, you know, Azarenka kind of gifted her a lot of the break, at least, because Collins, you know, had to just played actually 1 good point in order to get the game. Being able to hold here can be, of course, very, very important.
Which at the minute she's struggling to, because that backhand's got long under a pressure from a deep forehand by Viktoria Azarenka.
Yeah, I know why there is the helicopter in the sky.
What's happening?
I think it should be for the football match, which is going to happen right there at, you know, the Olimpico, the Stadio Olimpico.
Who's playing
in Roma? It's Atalanta against Juventus. It's the final of the Coppa Italia, the National Cup, you know.
Yeah.
More
Why
or
are they
less
playing that
the
on a
FA
Wednesday
Cup.
night?
Hmm?
Why are they playing that on a Wednesday night?
I don't know. I don't know actually, but it's like that. Eh, I mean, it's not the most important competition. You know, probably in England the FA Cup is
Yeah.
more heartfelt. This looks more or less like the other national cup you have,
Yeah, the
which
League
is
Cup.
I
Yeah,
don't remember
the League Cup.
EFL
Yeah.
Cup. So I mean, but it's a great chance for both, because Atalanta, of course, hasn't won a trophy in a lot of time, even if she has 2 opportunities right now. Collins held, meanwhile. I'm going to stop for a few seconds because I don't know why now I'm a bit ahead of you.
I don't know why, but I've just seen Collins holding and walking back to her chair. So, yeah, I mean, like you can do that if you want. Just don't over pause it. Looking at this, I mean, like, Michael, which stadium is it you've been to? You're talking about the football stadium or the tennis stadium? That because like either of them could apply. But yeah, Mario, you were at Rome last week, right?
Yeah, I had a couple of days in Rome, actually. Yeah. I mean, I had a whole afternoon just in the city, and then I went to the tournament the 2 days after, on Wednesday and Thursday, and it's actually always great and fun for me. I've always been there since 2011, the first time I went there, and I never, I guess, but I think never missed to go, at least once, because for me, it's very important. I love the tournament. Actually, I have also many memories related to it, and so yeah, it's a nice experience as always. A lot of people, actually, so many people. I was not expecting that. I
Yeah,
think they
you're
maybe sold a little bit too many ground passes, if I have to be fully honest. But yeah, it's always great, and I have fun. I'm not someone who goes there to look too much into that, especially because it was just a couple of days, and my main goal was to just enjoy and relax. I watched a lot of great matches because there were the second days, especially, there was already the second round of the women's tournament. The men was still the first round, so I watched for example Kerber against Kudermetova. Then watched Sarah getting her first win in 9 years in Rome at 37. So I watched a lot of good stuff. Met a lot of these players. I met also Azarenka. So if she wins, I can say that I brought her a bit of luck.
Hey, that would go. Well, she's not having much luck because she just dumped a backhand into the net, so it's love 15. Or it's they say just. So she's serving now. First serve in play. Collins goes up the line with a great return. Azarenka scrabbling on the defense. Collins now moving her around with the backhand. Collins goes back behind Azarenka with the backhand, and that's perfectly placed. And it's love 30. And suddenly Collins has just completely flipped this momentum.
Yeah, this one is the difference between, by the way, Iga, the way she moves on the clay, and other still great, but players. The way here Azarenka was a little bit, doubtful in changing direction, and this on clay, it's actually very, very important as an aspect. Now she lost all the confidence with her movement, and also serving, actually.
Yeah, you can tell. Like Collins' return is huge, and it was it was very, very good return, but Azarenka barely moved for it. So we've got more break points. Azarenka is what last time she won a point on serve was when she held to 15 in her opening serve at sort of 1 love to make it 2 love. And since then, Collins has just run rampant. Huge backhand return goes over the baseline, though. So Azarenka does get a point there, 15-40. So finally gets a point on the board for the first time after 7 points lost on serve in a row. not a good stat. That's almost my level of serving, with about as many double faults as well. 15-40, second break point. Azarenka goes out wide, then follows up with a forehand up the line, which Collins gets to, moonballs it. Azarenka's going to come to the midcourt to put away the forehand, 30-40. That's pretty good.
They're more interesting in the football in the chat.
What's the question you're replying to?
They are all talking about European Championship 2021, the Italian national team.
Oh yeah. Yes, that I mean, look, English fans did not behave well in that final, and it was embarrassing. Really, but yes, you are right. The British football, we do get a little bit crazy. I mean, if anything, English football is known for its rather over the top chants, shall we say, or sort of well thought out insults.
Yeah, here, by the way, at the tournament, we were having a bit of an issue because, yeah, I know that the atmosphere is always quite loud here in Rome, but there are a group of people cheering for some players in a way that, I don't know, it doesn't smell, just, it doesn't give me the vibe of fans, cheering for their players. I don't know if you get what I mean.
That's a mega inside out forehand from Collins for the point.
Yeah. For example, I don't know if someone has watched the match between Urkac and Baez. There was a group. I don't know how much I have to trust the version that they were just cheering for Hubi. Let's say like this.
Yeah, maybe there were Polish fans that come over.
Yeah, it can be, but in my opinion, there is some people who, bet.
Forehand winner from Collins. Azarenka again barely moves for it. She's shouting at her box in frustration because she's now gone from being a break-up to losing 4 games in a row, and Collins is 4-2 up.
Yeah, but it's weird a bit, in my opinion, the way, Azarenka seems, yeah, all of a sudden really not moving well. And
she's just got this bit of weird dip having.
Yeah. Which was better?
Oh, good question. I'm going to be honest.
Twinner.
I haven't seen either of them.
For me, Huber's Twinner, well, I don't know. It was in the end, the rally was played at low rhythm at that point because it was a play of touch at the net. So I don't know if Huber's Twinner was the one who really got me the most, in terms of how amazing it looked. Probably I would say Karasev at this point, played at the match point, and that way, probably that one I would going to answer with that one.
Neither of the two options. We're going to throw a third option in there. Like,
no, I'm going for Karatsev.
By the way, Love 15 is like we had a great winner from Azarenka to get the opening point on this return game. Again, the return stronger than the serve, but looks like Collins has got a let here as they were in the middle of that rally. We're getting a lot of chat about the Rome venue as well, and like I've never been, but like watching the pitch of the stadium, that has to be my favorite stadium design in all of tennis. In terms of like how it looks and like the kind of vibe you get from the air. Yeah, look, we've got people in the chat saying it's actually pretty cool to be at.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything also because I actually been in, as if we talk about masters, I've only been in Rome. Yeah, and also in Paris, but it is only men's tournament and indoors, so it's totally different, it's not really comparable. Yeah, I like one thing about also the main stadium is that it is very vertical, in the way it is designed and built. Instead, if you talk about, I don't know, Arthur Ashe Stadium or even Cincinnati, it's, more or less wide and open, That's a bit of a difference.
I don't think I need to have a look at an aerial shot of Cincinnati's. Arthur Ashe, know what you're on about. I mean, to be fair, I think the way, because it's the wall looks so thin on this centre court, it does look pretty wide. By the way, Azarenka's forced an error from Collins with some fantastic aggressive play, and it's 15-40. So she's got an opportunity to break back. This is a bit of a topsy-turvy set, this one.
Yeah, I don't know if it was really what I was expecting right from the start, because probably I was expecting more of, you know, a quite classic start of this match, and then maybe we could have got, you know, more tense as the match, you know, would have went on. But yeah, it's still fine.
I mean, let's see if Azarenka breaks. She missed that opportunity on the return on the forehand. So we're at 30-40. Second break point for Azarenka to get back on serve in this opening set and give us some drama here in Rome. Collins gets the first serve in. Now follows up with the forehand up the line. Forehand cross court from Azarenka to the forehand of Collins up the line, which is way too good. That's a monster winner. Yeah. And we're back to deuce.
Yeah, Azarenka chooses to stay really close to the baseline. You know, at times it can get difficult when, you know, Collins, for example, finds this, you know, forehand with this so deep, so clear, so not easy to defend the court from that position.
Another break point for Azarenka there.
Wow, there.
Sorry, what? Yeah, just to answer some questions in the chat. Yeah, Emma has pulled out from Strasbourg. I did see that on their social media. I think Melanie Nantrip retweeted it. Obviously, Raducanu not getting a wild card for Roland Garros, which she needed. Means she has to play qualifying unless I think she's 5 withdrawals away. So make that 4 if Pegula doesn't play. It's plausible but tough. Backhand from Azarenka trying to get the return winner, just missed.
Yeah, this was a chance. At least to do something better. But yeah, I also get that against this Collins, you can't be, you know, you can't wait even one shot or nothing. You have to be, you know, aggressive right from the first shot to put her into some kind of trouble. So I get also why Azarenka can feel a bit, you know, overwhelmed at times.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that. It's a double fault from Azarenka. That from Collins, that wasn't good. Collins double fault, another breakpoint chance for Azarenka. Yeah,
Pegula has not officially withdrawn, but she's actually very close to do it.
She said in a social media post when she pulled out of Rome that RG was unlikely. So she was kind of massively playing down expectations. By the way, it's another missed return from Azarenka back to deuce. Yeah, massively playing down her ability to attend Rome, which is why we're kind of like putting a massive question mark around it. It's like, is she even going to take part? So we'll see if we can get Collins has put the first serve into the net. I want to get through this game because I do want to reply to some other stuff here. So we've got some deuce point here for Collins on a second serve. Collins is going to go backhanded play from Azarenka. Collins goes up the line with her backhand. Azarenka goes a great backhand up the line and now gets the forehand, which she places to the Collins backhand, which goes cross court. Azarenka's hitting to the middle of the court and it's allowing Collins to get back into the rally and then hits an aggressive forehand up the line. And now she puts away a swing volley at the net. And there's a come on from Danielle. Massive fist pump. Azarenka kind of gave away that rally there.
Yeah.
Way too passive.
The fist pump. I love it.
Did you see the Goff match point, by the way?
Yeah. Yeah,
I haven't.
I saw it. It was incredibly funny.
I'm going to have to find it. I haven't seen it. As Collins tries to go inside out on the forehand, I thought she'd missed that one. Goes up the line with that forehand. There's another fist pump. She holds, goes max attack in this game and gets hold of serve and puts her very much in control of this set.
Yeah, I mean, very good from being love to down. Started playing, you know, the way she's done basically for the whole past 3 months, more or less. So, yeah, Azarenka needs to. It's actually, she's been, you know, she had a couple of chances, but she hasn't really played well these important points. And I still thinking that her court position, which is right, I can't say that it's wrong, because she needs to stay closer because she can't, you know, make herself run from one side to another, but makes difficult to defend when, you know, Collins is able to find some angles, some, you know, good shots. So it's very, very tricky situation for Azarenka right now.
Yeah. How confident are you in her holding serve as she comes out at 2-5? You want to believe it could be a virtual bagel.
Well, the thing is that it seems like right now that these two players have kind of the same, you know, not it seems like now, it is more or less like that. They have more or less the same game style, let's say, you know, with of course some differences. But it seems that in this match, Collins is doing everything a bit better than Azarenka, and I actually can see really Vika, you know, changing a lot in terms of the tactical approach, but she has to of course serve better, because, you know, holding, it's, you know, superbly of course important, and she's been struggling a lot also with the serve lately, and yeah, she has to maintain, you know, the aggressive approach, but she has to be more, you know, precise, and she has to go more straight to, you know, to where she wants to go.
Yeah, so some change-up recommendations from Mario Bacardi for Viktoria Azarenka. Let's see if she takes that advice seriously. Well, it would help if she got a serve in play, because at the minute she's double faulted again, love 15.
Yeah, in the end, it's the only one aside from those 3 in a row. But still, you know, also the first serve percentage has gone a bit low.
It's all over the place. Another first serve is pitifully low as it goes into the net. And Ghosty is starting to dream here that he believes Collins can win Rome. Maybe we'll talk about that in a bit after this game. Let's see if Danielle closes out the set. There's another double fault. It's love 30. Do you think, because I'm pretty sure it's the same side of the court as the last, that sort of 3 double faults?
Yeah, it's the last. It's the same, yeah.
Yeah, maybe something on that side of the court? Wind or something?
It was very windy in the day session when I watched the you know, the matches in the day session, but it's not looking really like in the day for me, you know, for what I'm watching.
First serve in the net again from Azarenka. We're now watching to see if she double faults for a 6th time in this set. Serves. She gets the second serve in. Collins gets a deep return, then goes on the attack with the backhand, sets up a winner. Azarenka doesn't move for it. Love 43 set points for Danielle Collins. The umpire's checking it. No, it was long, 15-30. So it's not 3 set points. I think Collins kind of gave Azarenka a little bit of a gift there.
Oh, aside from the players, I also met the tennis channel box, you know, they have in Rome. I found out where it was.
Wow. Did you manage to sneak in?
No, I just presented myself.
Okay. Hi, I'm available for work.
Yeah, exactly.
Please hire me. My current tennis role doesn't actually pay me anything. My current tennis broadcaster doesn't pay me anything. 30 all. By the way, as another return also from Azarenka, and we got a shot, kind of a drop shot from Collins. It was more of a moon ball. ends up going over the baseline. Azarenka moves to game point, and well, I mean, this is how quickly tennis can change, right? 40-30.
Yeah, even because, for what we have seen, even making your opponent having, to serve for it, you never know what can happen in the next game. Collins seem, yeah, quite, doing well right now, but still she's not been untouchable on serve. So important game for sure.
Yeah, Collins has hit a forehand long, and so we are at 5-3. Collins has got to serve this out. So she had an opportunity to carve out a double break there and get the virtual bagel, as Shwana said, but Azarenka's avoided that. So let's see what Collins brings up. Azarenka looks like she's pumped and ready for a fight, and we know that her return game is pretty strong. So yeah, maybe we'll start talking about whether Danielle Collins is a potential Rome champion only if she takes this set, or if she wins the match regardless. But let's talk about it if she's actually got a set on the board. Keen's asking, what top 50 WTA player has the slowest serve? I mean, do you mean current top 50? I'm sure it must be a Sorio. Is a Sorio top 50?
Top 50. Who has the slowest serve? No, Rani is not in the top 50, unfortunately.
No.
So it would have been an easy answer.
Yeah, Astoria is not top 50 at the minute. Otherwise, I would have said her.
Astoria, no.
No, she's 64 at the minute. I genuinely don't know.
I don't think there is a clear answer.
No.
For sure.
Oh.
I mean, Paolini, I don't think she's too fast, her serve. It's good for her height, actually, I think, but, should be at the lowest positions. But there isn't, a clear answer. We have to look at the data for sure.
Yeah,
in my opinion, because I think there are 4 or 5 players in contention. So it's difficult for me.
Getting some suggestions in the chat. Wozniacki is outside the top 100 right now, so doesn't count. Kasatkina, maybe, but yeah, maybe. We have to look at the data, and we don't have that readily available, unfortunately. By the way, there's a disputed call here.
I wasn't sure.
Umpire's calling it good from Azarenka, so it's love 30.
Indeed.
No,
it's replay the point, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm watching. Okay, yeah, it's replay the point.
Yeah, look at the side of the court Azarenka's on, and yeah, she's staying there. So it's a replay of the point, love 15. Collins trying to get this set in the bag and get herself into what will be her second 1000 semi-final of the year after, of course, Miami earlier on. Third Masters 1000 quarterfinal of the year, by the way, having made the quarterfinals in Doha, Miami, and now Rome. Love 15 was the second serve. The first serve was wild. Second serve is up the tee. Follows up with a cross-court forehand, which Azarenka scrambles back. Forehand inside out from Collins at the net. Azarenka.
What are you talking about? Collins, Doha, Miami, and Rome?
Rome, yeah. 3 quarterfinals.
I saw Azarenka. The same, actually. Doha, Miami, and Rome. And that's why I got a little bit confused because it's definitely the same. Yeah. Because Azarenka lost against Swiatek in Doha.
Yeah.
And made semis in Miami.
Yeah, losing to Rybakina.
Yeah.
Gets a deep return in Azarenka, but it's too deep and it's out. And it's 15-30. Azarenka maybe a little bit frustrated again. Some of her returns, excellent as they are, have let her down a little bit, overhit in some ways. But still.
Yeah, but I can understand.
Yeah, you can understand that, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of pressure on both players right now. 15-30. Collins goes out wide, then follows up with a backhand into the net. It's break points for Azarenka. 15-40.
Yeah, that's a bad one. That's a very bad one. It's not like Azarenka's return, which, you know, in the end, it was the right way to return. That's maybe also why she got a little bit disappointed here.
1540. We're going to focus on this because break back points for Azarenka to get this match back on track for her. She had this in the last Collins service game. She had this opportunity in the previous service game for Collins and couldn't take advantage. What's Collins going to do here? We've got she's got a let on this one, so she's going to be replaying the first serve. Azarenka twitches, looks up, gets ready to receive, goes for the forehand, but it's another let. So Collins again resets, goes for the let. 1540. What's going to happen here? Some tight serving from Danielle Collins. First serve goes into the net. So now it's a second serve, and she's definitely frustrated that she can't find a first serve right now. Can she find the second serve, though? You would hope that she can, because otherwise, if not, this game is going to be long gone. Second serve for Danielle Collins. It's a double fault. It's Collins' turn to double fault at a critical juncture, and we're back on serve, 5-4.
Yeah, we were love 30 on 5-2 and Azarenka serving, you know, mentioning how important could have been holding the serve because Collins was not untouchable on serve. Yeah. And that's what happened. Of course, Azarenka still needs to hold at this point. Nothing is, you know, to be given for granted. But still, she's getting closer. I mean, what are you thinking right now? Were you expecting a bit of a higher level from this one, or do you think? I think we've seen some good things, but overall, probably, you know, could have been better so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of level expected from the match, I don't really. I expect it to be a competitive match, an entertaining match. In terms of the level for both players, I haven't watched enough from the tournament to make a call on that. I certainly can see a scenario where Azarenka kind of has the defense to frustrate Collins. But yeah, I don't know really what I was expecting other than hoping for some entertainment at least, and we're getting it because, you know, both players have broken serve twice in this set. I mean, I have to agree with you that return that Azarenka hit at Collins hit at love 30 that I called in and thought had set up set points, turning out to be out. Exactly. That was the turning point because Azarenka's kind of been in control since then.
Yeah. Yeah, weird to say, weird also to predict, you know, it got difficult at this point because, you know, it's really tense and they're both, you know, trying to stay really aggressive to not let the opponent, you know, start, you know, moving the game with their shots. They both have two incredible, you know, forehands and backhands. So yeah, we've seen also a lot of mistakes that can be explained by, you know, that wheel of staying aggressive and, you know, not letting the opponent take control of the situation.
Collins getting upset with a fan in the crowd, believing that she's being disrupted by fans still taking their seats, asking Azarenka to wait before serving at 15 love. Yeah, I agree. I can see what you mean. Like a lot of the mistakes are coming from trying to be aggressive, as aggressive as possible. That is a very smart body serve from Azarenka, but Collins gets it back. Then moonballs the backhand from Azarenka up the middle of the court. Neutral rally. Again, Azarenka being pushed back by Collins, gets the ball in play, and Collins puts the backhand into the net. 30 love. No, it's 15 all. I think Azarenka was long by the look of it.
All. Yeah, it's long. It's long.
Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Yeah, so we've got, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's difficult because it was so close. I mean, Collins marks the baseline. I mean, that it's difficult to tell at the TV angle sometimes, especially when it's mute.
Especially when it's the baseline, you know.
Yeah, +1 winner from Azarenka. So gets 30-15. looking very, very close at the minute. 49 minutes on the clock. This is officially a really tough battle. Azarenka goes into the net on that first serve. Second serve coming up for the Belarusian is keen notes. Interesting that Belarus has produced two amazing tennis talents in sort of the last sort of 20 years, 15, 20 years.
Yeah,
go on. Oh, backhand winner from Conor line. Winner, 30-all.
Great one. Another tough game.
I think we might need to stick with the action here because Colin's like 2 points away from the set, to be honest.
Again.
Yeah, that is true. She wasn't in Azarenka's previous service game at 5-2. But this feels like a Collins fight back rather than Collins losing the advantage. What's going to happen here? We've got a first serve from Azarenka that just about gets in play. Follows up with the backhand cross court, comes in behind it, and tries to put away the volley, which Collins should run to, and tries to pass.
She has touched it.
Oh, Azarenka touched it. I did wonder if Azarenka got a frame on it.
Yeah, but you have to take the net. You know, you have to be more convinced when you take the net.
Oh yeah, that was a very hesitant volley.
She had to play that volley. She was so low, and
yeah, that was.
She could have attacked the net better and played, an easier volley, in my opinion. But yeah, it happens.
Set point is the second serve for Azarenka. Can she get the job done? Can she defend here against a lot of pressure now after a player's double falters a lot of times? 30-40. Second serve. Azarenka goes to the Collins backhand in play. Backhand Azarenka to the backhand of Collins cross court. Azarenka goes again to the Collins backhand. They're trading cross court backhand at the minute. Azarenka tries to slice. Backhand Collins to the backhand of Azarenka again. He tries to moonball this time, trying to disrupt the Collins rhythm. Collins just goes for the forehand up the line, and that's too good because Azarenka can't control it. And look at the celebrations from Danielle Collins. She is finally a setup in this Rome quarterfinal. Yeah. 6 games to 4.
Yeah. It makes me also laugh a little bit. It's very, the celebrations for me are very funny. I like them. Also, the way she touches the she points at the court.
Okay, so this is like, because you've gone on record before about player behavior and sort of what makes you comfortable and uncomfortable. And Collins is in the okay territory for how she acts.
Yeah, for me, yes. I mean, it's a celebration, So I don't really find anything, For me, as long as it's not disrespectful, in my opinion. If you celebrate, in that way because you hit a great shot or because you just won the set, why not? I am more than okay with that.
So am I. That was absolutely brilliant to watch. So yeah, we're in this. I have to say, in terms of like an analysis point on this first set, it's interesting saying a lot of the mistakes. Coming from
Terry, she is annoying. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. Of course, we're all different in terms of our approach and what we like. But I'm very fine, actually. I have to say that's my.
Terry's an Azarenka fan, so I think that feeling is probably heightened by the fact that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can understand that if you are cheering for a player and your opponent is very loud, I can get why, but as someone who enjoys just the match, and for me it's totally fine.
Yeah. I'm going back to the match. I think it's interesting. We're talking about the mistakes coming from players being too aggressive, and I think you're right, that's been the case of it. But I have to say that end of set, the mistakes came from Azarenka being too passive, and she did show that as well at a couple of points.
Game, yes.
The break back.
Yeah, in the last game especially, I agree. And in the end, I also feel it's more or less one of her issues in this last period of her career. At times she tends to become a little bit too passive, playing a little bit too much with the trajectories of her shots. Also, For example, that moon ball in the last rally, I didn't really, you know, like the choice. But yeah, and especially, I mean, in the tense moments, she tends to do this a little bit. Also, if you remember how she played in the tiebreak against Rybakina in Miami. Yeah, it's been a bit of her issue. You know, Collins seems being like the one who stands true on herself more, you know, in the bad and in the good moments.
Yeah, I mean, this from Azarenka, is this a trend that's become more embedded since she came back in sort of 2017, or sort of since she came back after to tour regularly after obviously after giving birth, and then after having to do various court dates around custody, or is this something that's been a part of her game since the sort of rivalry with Serena days that we were talking about earlier in the stream?
Well, a little bit, probably yes, but for sure, you know, before she had, in my opinion, you know, another. Also, where you watch her rallying in between, especially, you know, 2012, 2013, the feeling, the rhythm she was having, you know, was another thing, in my opinion. You know, at times I don't realize this, but then when, for example, I don't know, a lot of times you see this throwback from the slams, especially, you know, Australian Open, where she won the titles, and you see some of the points she has played. The feeling you get, it's different. You get that she was putting more pressure on the opponent, with, you know, staying also from the baseline and just, you know, producing this rhythmic, you know, kind of game. She, in my opinion, this is also a big difference. She has slowed down a bit. Still, you know, a lot of these qualities, redirecting pace, all these things that we always mention about there. But the pace she was having back in the days, according to me, was way higher.
What about Danielle Collins? I mean, what is it about her game in recent weeks, months, that's kind of changed for you? I mean, I could steal some analysis from Andy Roddick from the Served podcast, but in the interview that he gave with her, which, by the way, I need to go and listen to because it sounded like amazing. What is it? Just Collins' game clicking, or has she found something different?
I think all these things are true, and I have to say that, in my opinion, a lot of people are not giving enough credit to, you know, the physical aspect. She's been a player that, you know, she's gone through a lot of injuries and minor physical issues. So this is also one of the keys. And, you know, a lot of people are only talking about the mental part. Maybe she now is playing, you know, more freely. And in my opinion, it's right. And, you know, I think it's more about her game clicking, in my opinion, rather than really bringing a big change. But also, I would not, you know, I want to underline the physical aspect, that she's finally being able to find some consistency from, you know, physical point of view, given that she's had many issues and troubles. And she also mentioned this as one of these reasons why she is also wanted to retire and think to the next chapter, because it's not something that, you know, you can, you know, it's genetical. So as I remember, as I understand, so, you know, for sure she had to go through a lot of difficulties, and, you know, so yeah, I think it's more about her game clicking for all these different aspects.
Yeah, well, we've definitely got an interesting moment there, as Collins' forehand definitely clicked with that wonderful inside-out shot off a very high ball from Azarenka, 15-30, as Collins maybe a little over aggressive in the previous 2 points. Azarenka's now arguing with the umpire.
Yeah, I didn't. No, I arrived too late. I came too late to hear what she was saying. Whatever.
I don't have something to do with the call. So, yeah, she looks like she's grumbling to herself a little bit. She knows that she wants to get this early break, although I said that didn't help her very much in the last set. But we've got, wild forehand that's dragged wide by Collins trying to go up the tee. I say forehand, I mean first serve. I don't know why. I think forehand and serve as almost the same thing in my brain, and sometimes I have to make sure the right word comes out. Second serve from Collins. The backhand exchange right now. Still exchanging backhands cross court. Collins going to change up and go cross court with the forehand, pushing Azarenka back, but still getting it. And that's a shanked backhand from Collins. Azarenka's going to run forward to try and pick it off, but it doesn't land on her side of the net. 15-40. Collins is super sarcastic in her response because that was
the reaction.
So good.
I really hope people on Twitter are working on the GIFs and the video reactions because I need them.
We need to,
there is break point here.
For the Collins fan cam, they're trading forehands cross court to cross court. Azarenka drags the forehand wide and misses an opportunity to break. 30-40. Another one coming up. Yeah, just a little bit too long a contact point on that forehand.
Yeah.
So we've got another break point opportunity for Azarenka to go an early break up like she did in the previous set. She would hope that momentum kind of sits with her, because the minute that Collins kind of broke Azarenka's momentum to claim the set, it looked like Azarenka was fighting her way back in. 30-40. There's a second serve for Danielle Collins. No, I think it was a let, actually. So first serve again for Collins, who goes into the net. So now it's a second serve. Super tight on this point for Danielle Collins. Azarenka trying to make some headway in this match, keep this being dramatic. Forehand in play from Azarenka to the forehand of Collins up the middle. Oh, that's a great shot from Collins. It went right at Azarenka, who couldn't move around to hit the proper forehand.
Yeah.
Great point save, deuce. Yeah. It's always good to, it's always good to know that I'm spot on, Mario.
No, yeah, it's that, of course, at times I always am like, it's very easy for me here. But of course, that's what we are doing. And I think that here we saw again, this kind of passive mode being back from the first shot she hit, and Collins then had the chance to strike her forehand.
Yeah, I mean, the forehand that kind of drew the error, because that was again, Azarenka playing it quite safe. Maybe she's hoping that Collins is getting an error. Backhand from Azarenka, the forehand of Collins, inside out, it's game point. Azarenka goes long with the backhand. Collins celebrates again, another fist pump, and she goes back to her chair, having won the opening game of the set. And that could very well be crucial in the momentum of this match. I mean, having said that, like, Azarenka feels like she's trying to sort of maybe try and draw an error from Collins, but I'm not entirely sure if that's the right strategy, because Collins doesn't feel like she's making a lot of those errors.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, it's not paying, That's why I think that probably she has to probably change a little bit of this approach. But there is also the question, whether maybe she's not also feeling very well her shots right now, for example. So it's not really possible for her in terms of how she feels to go for it even more. And also I have to also say that maybe Collins also, for the way she plays, it's not always possible for you to be that aggressive, but at times she had that chance. Let's see this game, because going a breakdown here would be quite heavy.
There was an attempt at a drop shot by Azarenka, by Collins even, under a little bit of pressure, trying to run for the ball from Azarenka, and 15 love. Azarenka kind of motivated definitely right now. Yeah, I agree. Let's see how this how this plays out, because that was a critical one. The stats flash up on the screen, and Collins did make 11 unforced errors according to the stats in the previous set, which maybe feels about right. I think a lot of them came earlier on.
Yeah, it feels right. It's not even that much if you consider she had 4 double faults also, and so of course they count because you're still giving the opponent the point, but in my opinion she's playing in the end well, also from the baseline. There's been a bit of tension, so
yeah. Super positive service game already from Azarenka with an unreturnable serve to move to 40 love at the side of the court where she had those real problems in the first set. Goes first serve into the net though. And going to go for a second serve here for Azarenka. Backhand in play. Backhand was long from Collins. Azarenka holds. That is her most comfortable service game of the entire match, probably.
Also the way she's talking a lot with her corner. Also, right now she was asking for something. For sure, she's not really feeling comfortable, in my opinion.
Right. Well, we're coming into the third game of the second set. It's definitely, it feels like that service game from Azarenka was much needed because it's kind of stalling Collins' momentum somewhat. Yeah,
she kind of probably, let's see if it's true, but probably she settled down. I got one game, also an easy game, so also mentally it's not really challenging.
Yeah. 15 love for Collins already, so maybe she can get herself an easy service game. Maybe the intensity will kind of go away a little bit, but that's a let. So maybe too soon to say this. First serve for Danielle. Collins is going out wide. Backhand from Azarenka across court to the Collins backhand. Azarenka tries to get up the line with her backhand. Collins manages to steer the forehand into play. Azarenka goes wide with that forehand again, trying to just overhooks the forehand. 30 love.
Yeah, Collins can take a top 10 spot this week.
Yes, she can. In fact, actually, I think my seeding tracking, if she wins the title, she goes top 8. Which would be very
I think the same. I think the same.
Which, if she did that, that would be I think it would be an appropriate seeding for the French, given how well she's been doing.
Yeah, for sure.
As opposed to being a very dangerous potential fourth round opponent for someone.
Absolutely.
Although, is she now out of the range where she could draw a top player in the fourth round, like a top 4?
Yeah, because she got 12.
Yeah, she's up to 12 live.
If Pegula withdraws, she gets to 11 already, so...
Yeah, and then, if she wins this match, she will be 1 win away from being back in the top 10, because it will put her just behind Kasatkina winning this match. And then getting into the final, she'll overtake Ostapenko to reclaim the top 10, which she's been out of for a little bit. And she's held serve, by the way, for 2-1. And then obviously winning the title would put her up to, 9th. But if Pegula doesn't play, then Collins would be that's I think there's a good chance of that. But Collins' top 10 would be well deserved and very accurate compared to it. But
but it's just a matter of time, actually, because at least I don't know then how her year goes on, but so far the points she has already earned are quite a lot. So
that's true, actually. Yeah, she's like the people she's chasing. Definitely, look at Jabeur, Ostapenko, Kasatkina. They've got big points dropping off on the grass before Wimbledon.
Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but it's just meaning that with all what she's done, she doesn't even need to get, you know, another big title. That's what I wanted to say, you know, just
that
being
makes sense.
consistent, and you know, and she would reach it. Let's see what happens. But of course,
she doesn't need to, but obviously, you know, we're not doing what.
Yeah, I mean, it then depends on what the others will do in the meantime.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
I mean, watching her at the minute, let's say she's a setup at the minute, so we can talk about it a little bit, but obviously the way Azarenka's been playing, we don't want to count her out. How much of a threat do you see Collins posing to Sabalenka? Oh, she's a backhand winner. If she keeps hitting shots like that, probably quite a bit. Like 15.
Big if she manages to serve well, I would say. Because I was watching, for example, the match between Sabalenka and Ostapenko, and you know, I was a bit focusing a lot on how big of a difference has the serve return, you know, thing made in the end in that match. You know how you know, Sabalenka was able to, you know, not look Ostapenko's baseline game that dangerous. And you know, so if Collins manages to perform and serve like she was doing at beginning, especially of that match in Madrid, then of course she can be a very, very, very big trouble.
Oh, here we go. Collins has just lobbed Azarenka. That was a great backhand lob. And it's love 40 already in this Azarenka service game. Sorry, I know you were in the middle of a fantastic point, and I was listening, but then the lob happened, and yeah, Collins again producing moments of magic. It does have to be said that Collins has had the majority of the highlight reel moments so far. Great serve from Azarenka, though, who then follows up with a forehand of a deep return from Collins. And actually, that was pretty good because that ended up being a winner. So 15-40. It was a good serve from Azarenka. Fantastic return from Collins. And a very well improvised forehand to win the point from Azarenka.
Yeah.
So first break point saved. Let's see how she gets on with the second one. 15-40 for Viktoria. Azarenka goes out wide, missing the first serve. So she's going to try and defend a second serve, try and get this on the second serve. I say defend, you know, depends on what kind of second serve she hits. Second serve goes up the tee, backhand into the net from Collins. Another save. There you go. That's an example of a more aggressive second serve. Plays with the line, kicks up. Very difficult for the opponent to deal with. So yeah, 30-40 for 30-40.
Another break point. Someone is moving. Why? I don't understand, but okay.
Because
in the fans, I mean, sorry. Yeah.
Crowd can't behave. They've obviously still think it's the Madrid rules. First serve into the net from Azarenka. 30-40. Second serve. What's Collins going to come up with? Mario's going to see what happens next. Oh, let on the second serve. That's tight from Azarenka. Good grief, Mario's miles ahead if that's the case. Either that or he's just seen the let and not anything else what's happened. We've got a second serve replayed from Azarenka, but she's put it in the net. Double faults again, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, double fault. You know, it's not been a very, very good service performance so far. Let's say like this. And Collins is able really to you know, the way she is also, she looks so sure about what she's doing, even when she misses. And it can kind of also enter a little bit inside your head. Don't you think like that also?
Yes, I think so. You're right. And I think that's been the characteristic of Collins since Miami, right? That she feels so sure about herself, so sure that it's taken someone of Sabalenka's caliber to bring her down. And honestly, playing Collins probably woke Sabalenka up in Madrid. But yeah, I agree.
Well,
like as
one of Sabalenka's favorite courts in the world, actually.
Yeah. Collins coming at Collins and having something like that coming at you as an opponent must be incredibly frustrating, because you know that you have to play such good tennis to keep up with them, to compete. And when it's just not producing, that's just going to make it even more frustrating. As you can see with Azarenka, that one, she was not passive on that forehand return, really went for it, but dragged it wide, 15-love.
Yeah, but also the way she's so present, you know, you feel her presence also, you know, inside the match, also from a mental point of view. But I repeat, even when she has just done a mistake, for example, a return to the net, you know, she still looks really, you know, sure about what she wants to do and the way she wants to play, and to you feel that she can hurt you, you know, almost every single time and single point, and that's really difficult to experience.
As we just saw there, as Azarenka, under pressure, immense pressure from that backhand of Collins, puts the forehand into the net. So, love, yeah, it's tough to deal with in that situation, and it does look like Collins' confidence is growing right now. I mean, here's a question. We talked about Collins taking it to Sabalenka on probably her favourite court. What do you think? Do you see Collins challenging? I mean, this is like quite a way in the future, potentially challenging Iga on one of her favourite courts in Rome.
For sure, there's still Sabalenka between these potential.
There's still Sabalenka, which is the problem.
Which is not, you know, something to.
You can't dismiss Sabalenka right now at all.
He's sort of a player, so you know, it's not really, as you mentioned, it's still quite far. If I see her challenging Iga, you know, their matchup, actually, it's very weird, because there have been times when Collins had really pushed, you know, Iga, and times where she hasn't really been able to do that. Actually, for example, this year, right before the start of the winning streak, Iga had quite a, you know, straightaway match in Indian Wells against Collins. I don't know. It still feels a bit difficult for me. I have to be honest.
Actually, you know, you said that Madrid is Sabalenka's favourite court. Where do you think Iga's favourite court is? Do you think it's Rome or Roland Garros or somewhere else?
I would say, you know, for Sabalenka, you know, for sure, you know, Australian Open, Madrid. For Iga, for sure, you know, yeah, Rome, French Open, Indian Wells. Indian Wells, actually, also, you know, even if she had a rough defeat last year against Rybakina, but she won the title in other two occasions. Probably still a little bit, you know, one step down maybe than Rome and French Open. Yeah, but a slam is a slam. So if I have to say, you know, favorite court in the world, I would say Australian Open for Sabalenka and French Open for Iga, and maybe right after, maybe Madrid and Rome can be, you know, right there for both. But for me, the slam court, if you have good memories on a slam venue, that one is your favorite court in the world. So I would say Australian Open for Sabalenka and French Open for Swiatek.
Probably also Australian Open for Viktoria Azarenka, given the success she's had there. Collins, obviously, maybe it's Miami that'll be her favourite court that she looks back on favourably as the biggest title she's won, although she's had a success in Australia as well. What's not successful is that Azarenka attempt at a volley, which has been dumped in the net. It's love 15. And this really feels like it's getting away from Vika right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, really getting away from it.
Yeah, there's something, you know, I'm not really, since I'm, you know, I have the headphones, I'm not really listening to what Azarenka is telling her coach, because it's actually, you know, she's talking more than usual with her box, and also very frustrated. Sorry, I got ahead of you. Actually, I've just seen a very bad mistake.
Oh, yeah, from Collins, which, yeah, she kind of giving. Oh no, it was Azarenka.
No, from Azarenka, which is even is even worse considering the situation.
Yeah, that was again another net error coming in behind. It was again short ball, the forehand, and the volley, and then not volley. The ball comes off the top of the net and it's wide. Love 30. It does feel like that shot was a bit rushed. First serve from Azarenka is returned wide by Collins. So 15-30, and Azarenka steadying the ship a little bit. But she looks like she's getting a little bit emotional out there.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I don't know why I'm saying that, because she has been emotional for like this last few points.
No, yeah, but I haven't seen that often her, being like that with her boxer corner, at least, lately.
That Collins is now showing some emotion. Is she's very frustrated. She put that backhand into the net because she knows that was a massive opportunity to hit a winner up the line. Yeah,
but in my opinion, it's also, that frustration that it can give you, facing Collins right now, because, she really makes you, uncertain at times. You really have this feeling that she can hurt you, in any possible way. And also it's difficult to feel, that on the other side of the court, there's someone who is really, composed composed this in terms of, tactically, and even when she shows, that she's a bit nervous, Collins, after a mistake, that's not really the truth, in my opinion, inside, her mind. She still is very, very clear in her mind about what she has to do and how she's feeling. So yeah, it's definitely a bit frustrating.
Well, Azarenka's going to be frustrated as she's double faulted to set up a break point. There was a disputed call. Umpires checked it and the ball was out. Another double fault, a bad time for Azarenka, who then goes for the first serve out wide. And that was actually a very good first serve, really well placed. And she saves the break point. We're back to deuce. Yeah, I think, and again, it goes back to the conversation that like we were having and that you were saying earlier about sort of this is what it's like to face this kind of intensity and level from Collins that she's producing, that she's just not backing off. She's going for her shots. Like she did with that return there, although Azarenka's kind of got a front foot in this rally, kind of goes to the Collins backhand, who goes for the mega passing shot cross court. Wow! That was incredible from Danielle. Oh, she missed it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Mario.
I didn't want to stop you. Whatever. Okay.
Don't let people know I don't know what I'm talking about. Forehand from Collins up the line. That one is a winner. That's pretty clearly inside.
This one is a great winner. You were just ahead.
Yeah, ahead of the game. Yes, that's going to get clipped, isn't it? Right, yes, probably need to stop getting overly enthusiastic. This is the problem again. I need to invest in some headphones. This is the problem. I should probably be listening to the match on headphones like you do, because you're a smart man. Unreturnable serve from Azarenka. Smart man, and also one of the, again, I did mean that earlier when I said you're one of the nicest guys in tennis. I genuinely like your positive view of the sport.
Oh, thank you, of course, but I'm still trying to figure out how much I can my value can be. But yeah, I'm first of all happy to be able, if there's one thing I think I can do is to show other that I really love this game. And that's my biggest, the thing I like the most about, tennis, and telling it to other people. And I'm really happy to hear this from you. And of course it's the same. My view is the same regarding you. I really enjoy being here talking to you. Oof.
Someone who's not enjoying life right now is Danielle. Is Viktoria Azarenka.
Azarenka, no.
Oh no! Is it another double fault? Yeah, she smashed the racket. Also great to see you getting some love in the chat as well. That's another double fault for Viktoria Azarenka. So while we're having a lot of fun here, and Danielle Collins might be,
and I do it. Honestly, I try to be even more positive on the social. You know, here you can hear me, you know, criticizing something a little more, but on the social, I feel like it is so toxic at times that, you know, some good vibes at times are needed, you know, without focusing too much on the bad stuff happening.
Indeed. Well, Collins shouldn't focus too much on that backhand miss, because that was going for a little bit too much on that one to try and set up, to try and break serve and really break the spirit of Viktoria Azarenka. But I agree with you about social media. Like, it's written down, it's there, it's permanent, and people make sweeping decisions based on that. And it's very difficult to be nuanced. I think being critical here is fine, because you can control your words a bit more and make it clear that it's in the context of tennis analysis and it's in this moment. Whereas social media is very easy to make sweeping statements about permanent situations. And this is why, I appreciate what you're doing is like, okay, no, let's talk about the positives, you know, be counter to what's on social media, and not write players off. Great backhand. No, was that a great backhand? No, I think she's missed it.
No, it wasn't.
She's missed it again.
Yeah, this game will probably never end.
Hello, Nolan. At least it's good to know that even if you're not massive fans of the players, at least you like the commentary duo here. So, we've got, this game feels like a never-ending game. Great serve from Azarenka, placed, kicks up, and Collins overcooks the return. It's advantage Azarenka. I'm not going to ask this question yet because I want to see what happens in this point, but there is definitely a question that's worth asking if she can get through this game. But she goes out wide on the first serve. Great return from Collins. The backhand up the line from Azarenka. Collins slices the forehand. Backhand Azarenka up the line. Collins is having to go defensive again on the forehand. Somehow gets it in. Backhand from Collins. The Azarenka forehand up the middle. Forehand Collins on the attack. Forehand Azarenka. They're going up the middle of the court at the minute. Azarenka tries to go to the Collins backhand again. That's a great angle from Collins. Azarenka has to slice. Collins is going to come in to finish with the backhand. Gets the winner. She's loving the applause and she's whipping the crowd up.
Unbelievable the way she played this rally.
Yeah, like the defense from Collins was brilliant. I don't know how she was getting all those balls back, and it felt like Azarenka then just backed off. Yeah,
for sure. Still, you know, focusing on the good, you know. Collins, wow, she really had this, you know, transition from defense to attack. Unbelievable. Did it so well.
Yeah. That was actually, she really did a great job of working her way back into that point. Now we've got a second serve for Viktoria Azarenka, who's going up the body serve, and Collins overcooks the return again. It was an awkward spot, but maybe went for a little too much on it.
Yeah. Could have been a bit better. I mean, there was a slight chance.
Slight chance. But yeah, tricky serve from Azarenka. Now, can she put this?
Well, we have a match. We still have a match.
Oh, forehand cross court from Azarenka. She's got the winner. She hits the forehand winner, and it's 4-2. And now here's the question that I was going to ask you. Is this going to be one of those games that reinstalls confidence in Viktoria Azarenka and shifts the momentum back towards her a bit? Like she fended off Collins like that?
I would like to say yes, you know, for the match sake, but it will depend a lot, in my opinion, on Collins also. You know, I feel that a lot is also depending on, you know, how Collins plays and hits the ball, because when she does what she's doing well. It feels like she can be a little bit too much, at least tonight. Then maybe a lot can change, but in my opinion, she also needs Collins to drop her level a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, he's right. It's not just on Azarenka; it's also on Collins and how she's going to respond to that. And yeah, if she just keeps doing what she's doing, then she's gonna win this match. Nerland does have a question about: is Collins a top 3 contender for pretty much every title? I mean, aside
top
from,
3,
I can see where he's coming from, because there's question marks over whether Swiatek is a contender on grass, whereas Sabalenka and Rybakina.
she is.
Okay.
I'm sure she is.
I mean, you know what? I will.
I don't buy the narrative that she won't do well on grass in her career. So.
Okay. Well, I'm glad it's you saying that and not me, because everyone in the chat would roll their eyes if I said it. I don't
know if you agree with me, but I really see no reason.
I do. Look,
last year we already saw a big improvement. 2022, yeah, was bad, but wasn't she also a little bit, tired from all the run she had, between Doha and the French Open included? So I don't really think that she won't be a top 3. Maybe not the number 1. It will be a little bit more leveled up on the grass, but she will still be, for sure, in my opinion, a top 3 contender.
There's your answer, Nerlan. Collins is not a top 3 contender for every title. She's a top 4 contender for every title.
Probably yes, depending on how we are feeling in the situation, maybe about Gauff or Rybakina, whether both will be in contention or not.
We might need to focus on the match right now, because there's love 40 on my screen.
Yes, exactly.
For
also because it's becoming too difficult
to
think about all the players.
There's a lot of players in there, and it's more Collins seems to have backed off a bit and suddenly let Azarenka back into this match. We were talking about, does the intensity drop from Collins? We've got a forehand inside out from Collins that goes into the net, and that is a drop in intensity. Azarenka's back in this match, 4-3.
Yeah, that's what we were. The issue with this match, from Azarenka's side, is that we are back on serve, but as like on 5-4 in the first set, it's not like she's serving at. We have that certainty that the match is back. Is leveled, but still, I mean, getting closer. At some point, it felt like it was almost over for her, and right now the situation is, of course, totally different. So.
There you go. So we are. This set's definitely got interesting, and yeah, I do agree with your analysis there. I would agree with that. So yeah, I mean, going back to your original point of you're right. You go Rybakina. I mean, Rybakina was in my list already. Coco, I don't think should be ruled out. She's having a great tournament this week.
Also in doubles.
Yeah. I think, maybe we should be expanding that to Collins as a top 5 contender, because at the minute, Coco's only really, with 1 or 2 exceptions, losing to people that are having the week of their life.
Yeah, but it's also okay, to have a stretch of time where maybe you leave the, top 2-3 contender status for a bit of time, but in the end, reaching another semifinal in Rome, she did so in Indian Wells. She hasn't had maybe a peak this year, and that's why didn't get actually many big wins. I think that yesterday she had the first one against a top 10 player this year.
So is that her first win against a top 10 player this year against Xing?
Yesterday.
Yeah, sorry, yesterday. Days blur for me.
Against Kiwen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why maybe, you know, the attention dropped off a little bit also, especially, you know, in Madrid, having the so-called, you know, big three or top three, whenever we want to call them, the top three in terms of, you know, the race. Swiatek, Sabalenka, Rybakina in Madrid, you know, fighting each other, producing some great matches, you know. This also, you know, helps.
2 brilliant points from Danielle Collins there. That backhand winner up the line, just incredible, just wonderfully struck. No hope of catching that from Azarenka. And she's at love 30.
You're not ready for what you're going to see now.
Okay. I've got a cross-court forehand return winner from Danielle Collins. What a strike from the American. Love 40. And that's
blink and you'll miss it.
Well, Collins did not blink and she did not miss.
No, exactly.
Love 40. And just like that, Collins turns the dial back up to 11 and she's ready and waiting to claim another, to get to a break ahead in the set. It's a first serve that's pretty good from Azarenka, very low over the net, and Collins struggled to get a return on that. So that's the first break point save, 15-40. So we are up and running on this game for Azarenka, but can she get another couple of points to help her cause here? First serve up the tee, Collins having to scramble that return, but it doesn't matter because the first serve was long. No, looks like it was let, so we're resetting the point. Azarenka took her time before she got it. Yes, Ghosty, inadvertently, but I am aware if that's where it comes from. 15-40, body serve from Azarenka, pretty good. Collins, again, struggling to hit through the backhand on that return. It's 30-40. Another break point chance for Danielle Collins. Here we go in Rome. She's swinging, she's practicing, she's getting ready, she's getting dialed in and ready for this return. What's Azarenka going to give her to return off? A backhand from Azarenka to the forehand of Collins cross court. Got Azarenka on the run. How's she going to follow up with a backhand? She goes cross court. Azarenka's there. She'll have to slice it though. Backhand back behind Azarenka, who goes for the backhand. That's a backhand and a half. They trade in cross court on the backhand. Now Collins going to change direction. Over hits the backhand, smacks the racket into the ground, stamps her feet and shouts in annoyance because she's missed her opportunity to break there.
Yeah, another big opportunity, and you know, it would kind of hurt because she had the big opportunity in, you know, when 4-1 up, and here once again. So yeah, can be.
Is it me, or did Azarenka avoid getting too passive in that rally? I did think she kind of struck the backhand a bit more this time.
She's trying, not always, of course, successful, because Collins is also, you know, still very, very present. But
and
yeah,
come on, backhand up the line winner from Collins, as you were saying that.
For sure, you know, 15 minutes ago, she was way less, you know, present and confident, talking about Azarenka. I mean,
yeah, I should stop interrupting you full flow. It's too good. But somehow, whilst Mario's commentary is excellent, sometimes Danielle Collins' tennis is better.
For sure. No doubt about this. Sorry.
as Collins celebrates a fantastic return that forces an error by Azarenka going long, and Collins is going to be serving it.
The grunt became louder in the last couple of points. Or it's just me, from Collins.
Interesting. Yeah, she's really going
this feeling.
She wants this. Another big result on the board, a win against a double Grand Slam champion, and booking a rematch with Aryna Sabalenka in Rome. That is what's on the line here in this game. First serve from Collins is good, then follows up with a great forehand up the line. The camera was quite far out though, so I couldn't tell whether I was in or out, but I thought that was a forehand winner. No, I think it was a let because they're replaying the point. Dang it. Double fault.
Yeah.
Double fault from Collins. Love 15. Love 15 for Danielle Collins. And she's like, you can tell that she's really involved in this match. You know, she's expecting a high standard from herself, as she has, she's been showing since Miami at the end of March, and that's what, over a month ago, 6 weeks ago. Forehand cross court from Collins, the forehand of Azarenka, forehand from Collins to the Azarenka, forehand up the line. That's a really good forehand for Azarenka. Is going to come in and hit the short ball again. Gets the Collins on the defense. Now she's got an overhead to put away, which she does. It's love 30. Azarenka's not done yet.
No. we have counted her out a few too many times during this match.
Yeah,
at least in terms of that willingness to stay there, she is there for sure.
We counted her out in the first set at 5-2, love 30, with the backhand up the line from Collins that missed. Are we counting out again at 6-5-3?
Yeah, Azarenka here concedes
it was an ace
point
from Collins.
Yeah, an ace.
15-30. It's been a good battle, this. Hour and 41 minutes on the clock. Some long sets here. You know, this is not exactly straightforward it's straightforward for Collins. Was that another ace, or was that a let? No, it's a second serve.
No, it's second serve, yeah.
She's missed the first serve. You see, this is why I have to. I'm coming to you for validation now for trying to spot whether a ball's in or out. Because Mario is much better at paying attention than I am. We've got a backhand in play from Azarenka to the final. Collins goes up the line. Great shot as Azarenka's now on the defense, and the shot goes long. Great forehand from Collins to force the error.
Yeah, 2 points away.
Beat me to it. 2 points away.
2 points away.
30 all. Break point or match point?
Wow.
Well, we're about to find out. Ace from Collins.
Ace.
Wow. Wow, indeed.
Well, wow, yeah, for sure. The moment was the right one.
She's stepping up her serving game here. Mega serving here from Danielle Collins, who has her match point for a place in the Rome semi-finals. What a year this woman is having. Here we go. Serves into the net. So it's a second serve to try and finish this off for Danielle Collins. 40-30. Azarenka is really attacking the second serve. Goes cross court on the backhand. Collins having to slice that one, and it's long. Wow.
Yeah, and this second serve has, been probably the biggest Collins liability today in this match.
I mean, you say
a
that.
bit of double faults, and also, when she is on the court, Azarenka has, the real chance to be more aggressive. But yeah,
I mean, the way she took that second serve return on was just like,
yeah,
whoa, hold on, she's really going for this. That was Garcia-esque.
Yeah.
Deuce, second serve. The first serve was very wide from Danielle Collins. So wanting to get the job done here, goes up really short in the second serve. Backhand up the middle to the backhand of Azarenka, which she's put in the net. Advantage to Danielle Collins. Azarenka.
That was a bad mistake for sure.
How much is it going to cost?
Especially, for the moment.
Yeah, this was not the moment to dump a backhand into the net tamely as she did. Another match point for Danielle Collins. Azarenka wasn't going to make this easy.
Oh.
Let's see what she can do. Collins goes out wide of the first serve. Huge return from Azarenka. Collins has to slice it. Azarenka drop shot into the net. She had a great opportunity to follow up, but did not execute that drop shot well. And Collins blows a kiss to the crowd. Was that sarcastic?
No, I don't think so. No, the crowd is clapping, so it's not sarcastic.
Oh, no, that's
I
a genuine
think.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but I
genuine.
mean, there was no real
Oh,
reason.
no.
I thought that
It was very
the crowd
aggressive.
was
It
okay,
was,
throughout the match.
it was a very passionate kiss.
Yeah. Well,
Let,
what we have to say, a better lineup considering that Rybakina withdrew. So considering, the players who are started this tournament, we have the top 4 players in the race, if we exclude, of course, Rybakina. So yeah, we have Swiatek against Goff and Sabalenka against Collins. Do you think Sabalenka Collins gonna be the most interesting one, or do you think Goff will be, ready to challenge Iga in Rome?
Yeah, I think Sabalenka Collins is most likely to be closely contested.
Even if I think Collins needs to serve a bit better than today, I have to be honest, probably.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I think she kind of got away with it a little bit against Azarenka, but Sabalenka's going to be all over it. But when they get into rallies, it's going to be absolute box office, and especially if it's like that Madrid match. Iga Coco, look, we know what the head-to-head is. And it's very frustrating if you're a Coco fan because clay is what Coco's favourite surface, and she performs really well on it. But it's just Iga's better at it, and arguably is just does what Coco does better, apart from some defensive aspects. They have very similar strengths anyway. So, but then again, I don't know, because I was expecting Iga to run out of gas at this point, and she has had to fight her way a little bit through this draw. So if Coco's fresher and Iga wants to be like have a bit more in the tank for Roland Garros, I could see Iga not putting as much into that semi-final and Coco winning it. But again, how that happens, it depends. So
yeah,
I can see that, but I certainly think that in terms of the caliber, this is the best possible semi-final outcome that we could have had, and arguably it's the strongest semi-final lineup of a big event of 2024 so far.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I agree. I agree with this. And now I will tune in for the men's quarterfinal. I mean, I will just watch while having dinner.
Yeah.
Late dinner. Yeah. So to reply to Ghosty, on a scale 1 to 10, how much does it bother you that half of the remaining field is American? 0. It doesn't bother me. I mean, why? Also because I really like all the players involved, so there's really no reason. I know it was also a joke, but I wanted to answer anyway. Nick, I'm really happy to having being with you here for this stream. I really enjoy always talking with you, such an amazing person, and especially and also great also talking tennis with you for sure. And so yeah, can't wait to be in a stream again with you.
I can't wait either, Mario. I've had a fantastic time. I've been thoroughly looking forward to this stream all week, especially since this is the only night I can really probably do a stream. So yeah, the opportunity to talk tennis with you is like, saw it was you, and I was like, yes, this is great. But everyone's probably sick of us saying nice things to each other. But hey, you know what? They deserve it. So yeah, well, I'm very excited for the semi-finals coming up, and well, look, don't go anywhere. We've got more excitement coming up as we get the is it the women's semi-finals tomorrow and the men's and then the remaining women's quarterfinals?
Yeah, Iga Coco is in the day session, of course, because they played to the yesterday, and Sabalenka and Collins in the night. Both will be the second match of their session. The men will play first, and the women we play after. So Iga Coco is at 3 p.m. local time,
2 p.m.
and after Tommy Paul against Urkac, and Sabalenka Collins is not before 8:30. After what is Tsitsipas? Yeah, Tsitsipas.
Yeah, Tsitsipas against
Jarry.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got a lot of tennis to look forward to over the next few days. Keep it on the channel. We might get some more streams out for you to cover all of this.
Yeah, sure.
We're already in discussions of covering the Rome final as well in the WTA. I'm hoping to do at least a little bit of it. But let's find out who is going to be there. I mean, if I was going to ask you, Mario, to finish, what do you think is the most likely finals lineup? Who do you think we're going to see in the final?
I think we're getting the rematch.
Okay.
I think we are getting the rematch
again.
And but I agree with you that the second one looks more, it looks more likely. Then I don't know, but Iga actually seems to be well also physically. I don't know, the match against Keys, I mean, Goff for sure, is a bit more stubble. Not a bit, a lot more stubble actually. In terms of being, a bit more consistent. Keys is more of this, ball striker, can have also a bad day at the office, more likely to have one of these than Goff. But yeah, Ghosty, I meant that. The rematch of Indian Wells.
Rematch of Australia.
I don't know. I'm going for still Iga and Arena contesting it, because I still feel that Collins, as I told before needs to raise her level still a little bit, even if she played well, of course, today. But especially with the serve, probably she could be in trouble on this second serve against Sabalenka, and Sabalenka's serve is looking very, very good, especially today it looked like so let's see.
Could be interesting. Well, look, can you imagine if the 3 big WTA clay finals were all Iga Arena and Madrid, Rome, Roland Garros?
I don't know if I like it or not, but why not? I'm not complaining.
I mean, look, it's very Roger Rafa from about 15 years ago, or Serena Sharapova from about 10 years ago.
Yeah, we were one. Yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah. Well, let's see what happens, but for sure it's going to be very interesting. I can't wait tomorrow to, I don't know, watch the matches and enjoy them. Hopefully we're going to see some classics, or at least some good tennis, regardless of the score and how many sets or so. And I'm sure we'll see a great tennis. I have very few doubts about this.
Good tennis, great tennis is all that we can hope for. So I hope that everyone watching also enjoys all the tennis to come. Keep an eye on the channel for more streams of it. And I'm looking forward to talking tennis with all of you again at some point. But, well, I guess in the words of our illustrious leader, John Silk, you know the drill.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.